So the next deck of the day is this US-UK ramp deck. So this is an archetype that's been pretty dominant on the ladder for the last little while. But what's notable is in the most recent balance update, we had some changes to some key cards in the archetype. So one of the first and most notable ones is this Avenger. Got a cost increase to 8k. Small nerf, and especially within the context of kind of ramp deck, it's usually not a big deal, but still gonna be, I think it's something that you're still gonna be feeling a little bit. So that's a small change. We're gonna see how big of a deal this nerf actually was. Another pretty big nerf for the deck, and you'll notice I'm not including the card because of that, but Special Delivery got changed from a 3k draw 3 to a 2k draw 2. And discard, cards from hand. I think Ramp was able to utilize a card like this very effectively because it wasn't running a lot of 3k or less cards in their deck. So it effectively made it an extra cheap draw 3, whereas previously Mobilization filled that role. Now that it's only a draw 2 for 2, and even though it's discarding less things, I think ultimately it's probably just worse than Mobilization overall in an archetype like this. I think you just want raw card advantage rather than like the efficiency that this one provides. Getting to 5k is not difficult for this deck, and when you're looking to gas back up, we're getting into the late game, we're grinding against the mid-range or control decks or other ramp decks. Mobilization, I think, is going to be the better top deck most of the time than Special Delivery. I think Special Delivery, still a good card. I think it's gonna have home in archetypes like the Commandos decks and other decks that want to use what's that card called? I'm blanking on the name right now. That card. What am I trying to say, guys? I'm just gonna look for it. Supply Chain. There we go. And like there's other neat things you can do with this, like with the new and improved Japanese bomber that gets played when you discard it. I think it's going to still find use in those decks without just being this kind of easy to include hyper powered draw card there. So two kind of big nerfs to this archetype. But a small little buff that the archetype got is we got this countermeasure counter strike got upgraded. Used to only kill artillery and air units, I believe it was, that attack the HQ. Now it kills any unit that attacks the HQ. So very good anti-aggro, anti-mid-range card, I think. And in certain situations, just probably good in other matchups as well. So we're gonna just hop into some games and see how this archetype feels. It's been a while since I played this archetype on stream, and I think now especially is a good time since we got these changes. So we'll see how we do. Oop, before we do that, let's change the deck command. US, UK, ramp. Hey, look, it did it. All right. Let's go. Sure. Let's look for some actual ramp, I think. Ramp the cards. Got the carrier cover. Sort of recently changed card. Lets us bounce units. Or we can use it as a piece of ramp, which is probably going to be what we're doing in a tokens matchup. You're a little late, JASCO, but I'm sure we'll find a use for you yet. This Counter-Strike card is going to be very good in this matchup, I think. Because obviously, okay, with that in mind, I think we're just gonna play, well now I kind of want to play that. Because previously this card would have been essentially useless against a deck like what our opponent's doing, but if we can get their, if we can skillfully hit this unit that's attacking, could be very good. I think we're just gonna send that unit to hand, though. No need to risk them playing around our Counter-Strike. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good top deck. If they want to do it again, we have a carpet bombing to clean it up. Okay. Do we use a carpet bombing here anyway? I think maybe. Maybe we can save it for a better situation. This might be wrong. Maybe I'm being a little greedy here. I just feel like I'm probably going to be able to clean up these tokens. An Avenger, huh? Ooh, can you guys hear that? Suddenly it's raining really hard where I am. I actually think we're going to do this. Could get into trouble if he wants to like play out those other two tokens and then play Alliance, but at least we clean up most of what he has left. Because this can shoot there, and then we can carpet bombing clean up the token. Then he has a 4 or 5 in the front line that we can hopefully kill with like Counter-Strike or Death from Above at some point. Seems like he's debating what he wants to play out. I think now's the time for the Alliance. Ah, okay. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to carpet bomb and clean up his board here. This looks like a high altitude bombing to me. I don't think that high altitude bombing is getting much better than that anyway. there that goes. Probably not something we want in our opener. Carpet bombing, I think, is fine. These two commandos and an air defense plus carpet bombing. Yeah, maybe I don't need two #1 commandos. Really depends on what he's playing. He could be playing a control deck. So let's to mitigate that a little bit. I think we'll toss those back. Now I feel like I'm regretting that. Desert Fox. If he just passes here, I'm probably not playing anything else. Although this getting killed by a from the deep would be a big win for me, because there's just so much bigger things that that it could tag, and we'd want to avoid if possible. I think we're gonna go ahead and play this plus hold this up, because if he moves this forward and circles it and then attacks with the buff token, it actually does die to air defense. Now, if this is his only play, I might just Death from Above. Looks like he's got something else, though. Huh. I kind of want to hold up both of these and see what happens. But I think the play is this and this, maybe? Let's do that one. This could end up killing something a lot bigger. Then again, he might have other interesting targets other than the HQ for the while, so that's something to consider. Yeah, maybe I am supposed to just hold up Counter-Strike. I guess we'll see. Playing US himself. I suppose I could kill the fighter there, but I don't think that's worth it. Well, that's not much good against that, unfortunately. Probably just keeping that for the possibility of bouncing one of our bombers back to hand and getting a reuse out of its deployment effect. I could carpet bombing here. It doesn't do much. It uses our resources, though. His Counter-Strike's probably not doing much this game. Like, eventually it might kill, like, a Comet, I suppose, that's, like, running us down. But if, the way this game's shaking out, if we get into that position, we're probably not winning. So, what to do here? Carpet bomb. Is it carpet bombing? Do we want just more stuff in our hand that will get discarded randomly? He's gonna kill this here. This plus what can kill us? Not sure. Let's just hold tight. I guess he would take 3 damage from this in addition to the carpet bombing, and then he would have died from the next carpet bombing. I guess that's something I could have considered. Yeah, maybe that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah. Alright, that was a mistake. So I could have finished this thing off, and then we would still have this 3-3. Probably won't matter because he probably has like a B-17, but any wingspan later, probably not. I was thinking I would play wingspan probably next week for our wild card stream, but at the same time I've agreed to volunteer for like a food drive, kind of food delivery service for like the vulnerable in our community for next week. And so that means I have to cancel my regular cards stream on Friday, so I was probably just going to stream cards on Wednesday instead, but could potentially do a mix of cards and wingspan, I suppose. I think we'll play this and bounce the bounce this guy. So yeah, notable, if I had done the line I was saying before with the double carpet bombing, we'd be down 1 carpet bombing, but we'd still have a 3-1 in the front line, and he'd be down to 3 HP, so that's kind of relevant. Yeah, now he's gonna start slowly running us out of cards, it looks like, which is unfortunate. Is he bouncing that? Is he sudden striking that? What's going on? He's just ramping like a fiend. We need our card draw ourselves that we're not getting. I'll just keep that in hand because he's obviously got discard effects. He's probably running things like Annihilation. Mm-hmm. Another tiger, okay. He's probably going to play around the Counter-Strike. I'm assuming this player is aware of this possibility. So they will attack with the other thing first. Okay, I guess not. Doesn't really matter though. Even if we get a Avenger to deal with this Tiger, good chance we're just done for anyway. Do they have Exploit the Gap? Is that what they're looking to do? Or are they just afraid of some other counter-strike that they're not thinking of? Well, they're holding something up. It's probably airstrike. Yep. Debatable if that was a good game or not. Really don't find random discard effects very fun. But, you know, good game. Within the context of a game that must have those kind of effects, yes, it was a good game. Didn't draw any of our card advantage, sadly. And like I said, maybe I made the mistake earlier with the carpet bombing, but actually ended up not mattering, right? We wouldn't have found any lethal threats. Could have forced him to play like his cards out a little differently, but kind of like all of this strategic bombing might not be great against what could be an aggro deck that's taking the front line really aggressively. But if he's playing things like Nebelwerfers, it could be good. I think I like a piece of ramp that's also a stalling card if we need it to be. Counter-Strike seems good. I feel like this is pretty much a keep. This is the question mark. I feel like I want to keep it, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I think that could end up being better. He's playing Alpine. Yes, that is an archetype I have to consider. People are playing this again a little bit. So maybe the other thing was good there. We could do this. Probably just gonna ramp with carrier cover, actually. It's not the greatest against thingy. Now I think we need to I think we do this because it's likely to hit something good, like fairly decent, and then next turn we can actually hold up Counter-Strike and play Honey. Or what else could we do? Yeah, we could just hold up Counter-Strike, play Honey, and then the following turn we can play the Grenadier Guard. Think this is what we want to do, or do we want to bounce something, play Honey? We don't have any more 1-drops for this to hit, so I think it might be actually worth bouncing that and then playing Honey. Oh, no. Nah, let's just try to get him with this. We got him. If he'd kept that up in the front line and played something else, I might consider playing this. But now, fearing Blitzkrieg, it's probably worth, well, What else could we do? I could shoot... Could play this guy. Shoot something, fire, that wouldn't do much. Bounce, shoot here. He might shoot here, which is not great, but then he finishes it off with thingy. Nah, let's just play this. Human torpedo. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Ooh, that turned out well for us. Yeah, there's probably no better time than now to Seaborne Invasion. Could also see an argument for playing the Avenger, though. Seaborne Invasion when things start getting a little dicey again. Alternatively, we could 101st Airborne to kill this and then eat this. That's 5, 6, and then 7. This hits something. Just kind of get value on what we already have. What's the likelihood of this Avenger ever hitting anything, though? Let's play that. Oh, yeah, I guess it gets pinned by this, so that makes it a little bit of a iffy play. Let's just see. Another Grenadier Guards. No, now it's probably Seaborne Invasion again. Or Seaborne Invasion instead. And honestly, I feel like I could move this up. Nah, let's keep it hidden. It's gaining us life. Making it harder and harder for him to like burn us out with a comet or something. If he has a comet, he's like likely pointing it this way for this first round. Doesn't seem to have that. Start with this. I ain't afraid of no Leo. I don't think we need to use this to bounce one of our things. Alright, that can't be targeted. Uh-oh. Bah, that's an interesting bug. KARDS devs? Okay. Alright, well, we wanted to play a honey out. Yeah, we even found an air defense in case he had like a comet or something, because I definitely wanted to move this up and start applying pressure. Probably like the comet probably just he probably wouldn't have had enough time, obviously, because we're dealing 5 damage a turn plus, and he's dealing just 4. Yeah, that game was over for a little while. But our opponent made us play it out. I think I want the ramp and probably the Avenger against what's likely to be another ramp deck. I could end up... That could be a fatal error. Maybe I have enough time to draw into this and I shouldn't be doing that. Keep the ramp piece, though. That's like a more reasonable hand, yeah. Definitely better against, you know, if he was playing like the US-Italy aggro deck. So I think we'll go Honey. Actually, I think we go #1 Commando. The life total is not usually relevant in this match. Oh, hello there. But I could get the #1 Commando in a position that makes him playing bombers worse. Now that he played that, I think this is definitely the play. He's gonna finish off our thingy, but I think that's okay. We also try to like do something sneaky here. I'm gonna do this now while I have the chance. This can't kill this. We can play the Grenadier Guards, which this negates like the main appeal to that, but I think that's fine. Also, I think I want to save mobilization for when we have Honey on the table. We have plenty of things to do in the meantime. Just play the guard out. Can act as a distraction at least. They're not doing much damage to the HQ, so they might just start pointing, setting their sights on this command, on this Grenadier Guards with their 2 units. Wow, that was a really effective long tom. But, you know, I want to apply pressure, so... Booyah. Now I think they're in a pretty bad spot. Obviously, it depends on what they have in their deck, but... I don't want to use this air defense on a measly 1-3. Not when we have strategic bombing and carpet bombing in hand. We're going to save this for... If he's playing the bombers, this will be better suited for that task. Would really like for him just to play another Greyhound and a bunch of priests, and then we can clean them up with this. 101st Airborne looks like he drew. Yep. I think this is a good enough time to carpet bomb then. Let's clean this up. Clean this mess up. They know we have this in hand and we might be able to bait out an Avenger with it. Then kill it with our like Flying Fortress or something. See what they do though. Not much. Okay, well if they Avenger us, hopefully they don't have a 1 or 2 drop to play as well and mess up our chances of killing their Avenger with our B-17. We have other options, obviously, but ideally, we would just cleanly answer their Avenger with our B-17. Those are both some pretty bad hits. Now Avenger's not even really that great of a play for him because it can hit this guy. Gonna bounce that back to hand, it looks like. Oh, no. Yeah, I think I like this. I'll hold this up just in case. They could have, now that I know that they're German, they could have, you know, blitz tanks. Or they could have Pattons. I guess they don't have bombers. I feel like we would have seen one by now. And Patton with the U.S. bombers, pretty spicy. They're actually dead to the. Okay, they're not anymore. I was gonna say they're actually dead to strategic planning here. Oops, silly me. Should have played around the card that I was using, obviously. So this should be at a 6 defense. They'd be at 12. I think I don't think they have a way out of this though. Could be wrong. We're going to double the attack and defense of our JASCO. It's going to be great. That's a seaborne invasion. Cool. Well, hello there. He got the worst seaborne invasion. I got one of the best. And look, they're gold too. They're just really rubbing it in. He's still dead to this strategic planning through that, right? This is going to be a 10. This is going to be a 6. This first attack does 9. The second attack does 5. So he should be dead. Gopher High. This might be worth keeping against what's probably a burn deck. Some argument for that as well. Man, that movie was so good. I heard they're making a fourth one. Kind of interested to see it. I've always liked the Matrix trilogy. I thought those movies were a blast. Really fun. Okay. So I'm guessing he's going to replay that, shoot. We're going to kill, hold up Counter-Strike, and hopefully he targets the HQ. I don't really care about that. I mean, he doesn't want to run this into here. So I see, I see. Ideally, he attacks with the 0 first. Probably not going to happen. That way this strategic bombing can clean up the Tojo along with the smoke screen thing should he decide to play that. We're on the hope we can survive to get an M26 Pershing in the front line plan. Yes, that's the name of the plan. That's also a pretty good plan. He can burn us out next turn, right? No, not quite. How relevant is it to play this? I feel like one of the worst things he can do... No, I think I need to do this. We're dead to a lot of things, so I'm sure he has a Hien in hand. We're only partway through the third of 4 decks that we're playing today, but so far I really enjoyed that Fury deck. That was really fun. The Fury deck, yeah. I like tempo decks like that, so. Well, I don't think I can risk this getting discarded by that as much as I want to play out an Avenger. So I think we're going to have to play this out. Then you can shoot here, which is kind of bad. All the while this is ticking up, though. I guess he could have To the Last Man or Empire of the Sun. How much we can do about that, though. He could deal 4 damage with what he has on board to this. Oh well. We didn't win the 50-50. Okay, well that takes care of that from killing us next turn, at least. But he could sniff it out, which means we can't move this forward. But this bomber can let us, like, start killing things. Well, we'll see if it works. I didn't want to move anything forward because he could have baited it out by attacking with something else. Yeah, we're in a real bad spot. We need a way to take this off the table. That's also really, really bad. That's a pretty good draw, though. Okay. Fighter is protecting this target. Well, darn. I don't want the fighter to be protecting that target. We can try to maximize our chances of hitting with Death from Above. We didn't have enough resources, though. I mean, he's almost certainly like a mostly unit deck. He's probably going to get to draw a bunch of cards anyway, no matter what we do. We need to just try to, like, end the game somehow. Or maximize our chances of Death from Aboving. and hitting this guy. I mean, he just filled his support line. He can't do anything else, right? And there's 3 more life for us. And this negates the death triggers. So now I think we actually kill that and go for face. Either that or we draw more cards and just get our life total up higher. No, I think we win this game by dealing damage. We need to end it. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of interesting things you can do with the new Reichsbank for sure. So now his only quick way of taking this off the table is to use these two, which takes up half his turn and makes it likely that I get back my Pershing and get it into the front line. To the last man's not a good draw for him because he just, again, he gives me back the Pershing, so he has to sacrifice this first, which he can't do quite yet. Okay, there we go. He needs a fighter to block. Well, he needs a lot of things, actually. Yeah, no, that's game. Good game. Wow. We were able to scrounge a victory out of that. Was this the person playing that meme deck? I think it was. So if it is, we want all of this. No, this is a resistance. Okay. This is the resistance. Hands up. That doesn't make any sense what I just said, but whatever. I don't think I want to move this up. We obviously need to apply pressure to them, but I think there's more value in this just sitting here for now. Every time. They always have a way to fill your hand. It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you try. Oh, why won't they change this mechanic into something that's actually fun? I think I might actually just 1-for-1 that with high altitude bombing because I don't want him drawing more cards. I just want that gone. I think one of the ways we lose this game is by losing card advantage. Joke's on you, I don't have any units in hand. This into this. Hopefully we get something good. Perfect. Go ahead, carpet bombing me, I dare you. We'll just negate a carpet bombing with this. Obviously it's better if he doesn't do it now because we can get this out of range. Oh, you little prick. I think we'll save this. The ramping is not relevant anymore. We could get a deployment effect with that. That's good. Do one more of these. Guess we'll play that. Doesn't really do much. It doesn't really do anything. But it's something. We're hoping to find our card advantage before he finds his. Pretty good. So now if we need to, we can bounce it back to hand and get the redeployment effect if it's relevant. I'm assuming we're going to see him trade these here. Now it might be worth bouncing it and shooting two things, but I'm not sure about that. Huh. That's interesting. Could bounce that to hand and just shoot him a couple times. Now he needs a hard answer to the bomber. Or We can just continue playing annoying cards, I suppose. Why was there even a debate if he had that card in hand? That's like the perfect thing for him to have, and he's sitting there waiting, deciding if it's a good play. God. Resistance players, I swear. Oh my god. Meanwhile, we can't find our mobilization. Card's garbage, doesn't matter. That card's garbage, it doesn't really matter. I guess we can play this. I don't really think it's... We gotta save it in hand because he's gonna find that other commando at some point. Don't really care which one this hits. What would I rather play here? Not the carpet bombing, because I still need to kill that other commando that he might have. I want a way to kill other commandos is the thing. He's only played one night raid. He could have that other commando, the 3/3 with ambush. Get out of here. Alright, we'll play one more match with this, see if we can get to Field Marshal. If not, we're gonna just switch to our final deck of the day and see if that can carry us there. what a slog that game was. We'll see whose deck is the greediest of them all. Actually, I think I'll play this out and see if we can bait him into, like, attacking into our countermeasure here. Because even if he can't, we might be able to just, like, carpet bombing this board and then, okay, I guess that's not a possibility anymore. That's dead either way. Could attack here and here. This will kill that the following turn. We could also just throw down the Corsair. He's going into his turn 8, which means he can't be 17 this. I suppose he could have a Hellcat, but yeah, this is not a great hand. These aren't really relevant targets. Suppose we can play this and pass. See what he does. Obviously, he can just B-17 us here, and we can hope that it hits one of his other things. Or that we can hope that it hits the B-17. Now we have a 50-50 on his B-17. I think that's about as good as it gets. Actually, we have a strategic bombing here. I think that's where we want to be. And we'll just carpet bomb to clean this up the following turn. Beautiful. These are great hits. Great hits. Even another mobilization too. We got ourselves a game, boys. We got ourselves a game, ladies and gents. Interesting build our opponent has here. Might actually just run these two out this next turn. See what he does. Sure. So that's a bit of a problemo. Just a tiny, teeny bit of a problemo. Mostly because if he gets a second one, this is well, it's not unplayable. We are a ramp deck after all. But we've lost several of them already, so it's gonna be iffy. Nope. So I can attempt to see, play this guy, move up and attack with it to finish it off, but he's holding up air defense, so I think I'm supposed to try to do it with this and hope for the blitz infantry. It's tricky, but I kind of want to save this and then do this at some point. So let's try it. Yeah, it didn't work. It's fine. Do this. We're running out of stuff. That's an air defense. Do I hold up an air defense here? What has he played? I actually haven't been paying attention. Both Avengers and both B-17s are gone, right? I'm pretty sure. Both B-17s for sure, and I'm pretty sure both Avengers. He could be running Corsairs, but I don't know about that. This into this means he'll take 3 damage, but our Pershing can kill it anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to save the air defense. Yeah, there we go. Problem now, I could run this out, but the death trigger could kill us. I could strategic planning, but I don't think that's how we win this game. Well, I don't know, maybe it is. We can strategic planning, kill the Corsair. he'd move up and attack with his... No, that wouldn't work. That's not good. We gotta kind of hope and pray a little bit here. He's probably gonna attack with the Pershing first. But... yeah. Pretty much gets what he wants out of that. I think we have one B-17 left. I think. Well, we have a Corsair. That's something. He probably... I wonder what he's supposed to do here. That's funny. We already know he doesn't have air defense, so I'm probably just supposed to do this. Now, there's that other Black Watch we were fearing. We can still play our thing, obviously. We know he has, yeah, we know he's running these. So I have to be careful of those. Okay, so it's probably gonna move both of those forward and naval, whatever, the other one. This is gonna be close. There's a carpet bombing. That's not awful, actually. Get rid of one unit and basically make that naval whatever pretty useless on the other two. I honestly don't know what my final card is, but we probably don't have enough to win the game. We really needed this strategic planning to actually do something this game, and it just didn't. Yeah. You know, half of his hand is just this naval support. I'm not sure what the other three are. Oh, close game. GG's. Alright, yeah, I think that's going to do it for that deck. I think this ramp deck's reasonable. We obviously lost in a really weird mirror to that one. You know, I guess Black Watch pretty good against the other ramp decks if you want to slow them down, screw them up. Kind of trying to think what he had. I think he basically was not running honeys. Or the carrier covers, and he had all those guards instead. That's the other thing. We weren't able, we drew the carrier covers after we'd already lost all of our deployment effects. If it wasn't for that, we would have been able to grind a little bit more and like reduce his forces down to basically nothing, and we probably would have been able to win the game then with our strategic planning. But the way our draws lined up, it just didn't shake out that way. So, close game, good games. I still think this is a pretty reasonable ramp deck. I think this is probably, honestly, I think we win that matchup more often than not, just because of the fact that we have that utility. Just the slow, chunky guard units are just not going to be good against us most of the time. So that's going to be it for that deck. We have one more deck to play before the end of the day. So let's move on to that one.